Picture the dead of night at the Kadambur Palace, roughly 1,000 years ago. The courtyard is sprawling, built from massive stone blocks, and it is rapidly filling up with the most powerful military lords of the Chola Empire. Among them is the empire's supreme commander, Periya Pazhuvettirayar. He rides in with the overwhelming force of a small army, moving through the gates like a conqueror rather than a guest. But right behind his towering elephant is a heavily guarded palanquin. Inside is his much younger queen, a woman kept so strictly out of the public eye that almost no man in the empire has ever seen her face. Even the local whispers focus on a stark physical contrast. The native Chola royalty are known for their dark skin, but the few who have caught a glimpse of this mysterious queen say she is distinctively golden-skinned, an outsider entirely. This diagram shows a map of the Chola Empire, tracing the travel routes of these chieftains. If you look at their paths, you'll see they are marching from every distant corner of the kingdom, all converging simultaneously on this single location in Kadambur. A massive cultural festival of this scale provides the perfect cover for a high-stakes, secret political summit. To maintain that cover, the hosts stage an elaborate performance called the Karavai Kuthu. 9 women step onto a brightly decorated stage, bound together by garlands of specific sacred flowers dedicated to the war god Murugan. The stage itself is covered in physical offerings. Piles of roasted white rice, yellow-tinted grains, and brilliantly colored seeds are scattered around to ground the ritual in strict traditional authenticity. The atmosphere turns suffocating. Thick smoke from burning incense mixes with the haze of flickering torches, creating a dense fog that physically disorients the onlookers. Through that haze, the dancers sing, but they aren't singing gentle hymns. They are shouting tales of Murugan brutally slaughtering demons and draining the oceans, priming the crowd's subconscious for extreme violence. Underneath the chanting, the tempo of the drums and flutes accelerates. The rhythm grows faster and louder, bouncing off the tightly packed bodies in the courtyard and overstimulating their senses. The relentless combination of blinding smoke and rhythmic shouting leaves the crowd in a state of sensory exhaustion, vulnerable to the messaging that is about to follow. Suddenly, the festive dancing stops, and the tone turns ice cold. A priest and priestess take the stage for the Valanatam, attempting to induce Sanatam, a genuine state of divine possession. The visual shift is immediate and terrifying. The dancers wear blood-red garments, foreheads smeared with crimson powder, mouths and eyes stained furious red. The chaotic music abruptly dies. Now, the only sound left in the massive courtyard is the harsh, solitary, snapping rhythm of a single Udukai drum. Driven by that single beat, the priest enters a violent trance. Every muscle in his body convulses as he wildly leaps across the stage, reenacting the total annihilation of a mythical demon with a spear. The observers are no longer separate from the ritual. Paralyzed by the intensity of the display, they have become a captive audience for the prophecy that follows. The head priest steps forward to interrogate the possessed man. At first, the answers are exactly what you'd expect. Promises that the rains will fall, the floods will rise, and the crops will prosper. But then, the prophecy takes a vicious turn. The possessed man shrieks that the war goddess Durvat is angry, and she is demanding an immediate sacrifice. He doesn't stop there. He howls that the terrifying deity Kali is also starved for a sacrifice, drastically raising the lethal stakes of the ritual. Finally, the possessed priest screams the true demand at the top of his lungs. The 1,000-year-old royal dynasty demands blood. Watch the elders in the front row. The supreme commanders and wealthy lords aren't horrified by this call for royal blood. Instead, they lock eyes with one another, sharing quiet, knowing, bloodthirsty looks. This flowchart breaks down what happened. On the left, a religious prophecy ending in sacrifice. On the right, a coordinated political assassination. By speaking through a possessed priest, the conspirators bypass treason laws. The king's murder becomes a mandatory religious duty. The summit has successfully weaponized faith and fear, turning a night of religious trance into the sanctioned launch of a Chola Empire coup.